A list of skills on a resume, that's one thing. But how do you turn that list into a story? A story of actual real world impact? Well, today, we're going to break down the profile of a developer who doesn't just write code, he builds entire solutions to some pretty complex problems. Okay, let's dive in.
And that is a serious question. I mean, we're not talking about little side projects here. We're talking about full blown enterprise level systems for asset management, real time delivery logistics, complex government approvals, and even GeoAI platforms. So, how does one person do all that? This explainer is all about answering that very question. So, who is the person behind all this code? Let's get to know the developer and really understand the core identity, the mindset that drives these kinds of solutions. Okay, meet Shiva Ramagiri. Now, the key phrase here, the one you really got to pay attention to, is from the ground up. This isn't about just tweaking a little bit of code here and there. No, this is about being the architect of entire systems. As a full stack developer, he speaks the whole language of an application, from the screen you tap on all the way down to the database that's storing all the information. Every great solution really starts with a great problem. So first up, we're diving headfirst into the world of logistics. We're talking about those real-world operational headaches that can literally bring a business to its knees. I mean, just think about it for a second. Where is that company laptop? Why is this delivery running late? Who's supposed to fix this broken piece of equipment? These aren't just small annoyances. They are massive drains on time, money, and efficiency. This is the kind of chaos that is just begging for a digital solution. And this is exactly where code stops being just, well, code and becomes a real problem solver. So how do you actually bring order to all that chaos? Let's take a look at the specific applications Shiva built to give businesses back their efficiency and control. So the first solution is called Acidify. And its mission? It's simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Take all that messy, disorganized information about a company's assets and wrangle it into one single, centralized system that's actually easy to manage. Now, what's so cool about this is how each one of these features is a direct hit on one of those headaches we just talked about. You can organize everything by department, track it with a simple QR code scan, manage the entire maintenance process from start to finish, and then, and this is the crucial part, get data-driven reports to actually make smarter decisions. And here's a peek under the hood at how it was built. It's a modern, really robust stack. You've got React on the front end for a super snappy user interface, Node.js on the back end for all the heavy lifting, and a powerful PostgreSQL database holding it all together. All right, let's move on to the next solution, which tackles the crazy complex world of physical deliveries. Truck delivery isn't just a single app, it's a whole ecosystem. It connects every single person in that delivery chain, right from the factory floor all the way to the customer's front door. And this slide right here, this perfectly shows that full stack approach in action. You've got a web platform for the controllers, the people who need that high-level, big picture view with maps and dashboards. And then you have separate mobile apps designed specifically for drivers and customers, giving them the exact tools they need, whether that's managing delivery steps or just tracking a package in real time. Okay, so we've seen how to solve operational logistics, but the challenges? They get a whole lot bigger. What happens when the problem isn't just a messy warehouse, but a massively complex system like government bureaucracy or just a mountain of geospatial data? I mean, these are problems on a whole other level. How in the world do you build a system that can handle an approval that has to pass through like 10 different government departments all the way up to the Prime Minister's office? And how do you turn a bunch of raw map data into actual usable intelligence? This is where a developer's skills are truly put to the test. You're moving into some seriously complex territory here. So let's break down the solutions that were engineered to handle both the red tape of bureaucracy and the challenge of big data. This is Tosseri, and its whole purpose is to take an incredibly complicated, slow, paper-based approval process and drag it into the 21st century. It creates a single, transparent pipeline for managing permissions for roads and buildings, replacing all that delay and ambiguity with clarity and speed. So the really crucial thing to get here is that this system manages the entire life cycle. This isn't just a website where you submit a form. No way. Think of it more like the digital nervous system for huge infrastructure projects. Contractors apply, everyone involved can track the status in real time, and the system automates all the complicated stuff like multi-stage verifications, secure payments, and even retendering.
And look at that. We see that same powerful and flexible tech stack again. You've got React with Redux on the front end to manage all the complex states of the application, paired with that super reliable Node.js and Postgres backend.
And now for the final project, Where1, which takes a big leap into the world of artificial intelligence. This thing is not just a map, it's a geo-AI platform. What that means is it uses AI, specifically large language models, to analyze geographic data and pull out intelligent insights that would be practically impossible for a human to find. We're talking about predicting development hotspots or identifying risks to infrastructure before they happen.
For this project, Shiva's role was really focused on the front end, which for a platform like this is absolutely critical. He wasn't just building buttons and menus. He was creating the interactive maps and the UI components that let a user actually see and play with the AI's insights. He made all that complex data understandable and, most importantly, actionable.
So we've seen the problems and we've seen the solutions, but what's the foundation that makes all of this possible? Let's zoom in a bit on the core skills and the mindset behind it all.
Think of this slide as the toolkit. You can see the expertise across the full stack. React for both web and mobile, Node.js for the server, multiple databases. But hey, look at the other skills at the bottom. Agile development and problem solving. Those aren't technologies. Those are the frameworks and the mindsets that turn lines of code into real-world solutions.
And all of this is built on nearly 2 years of intensive, hands-on professional experience. This isn't just stuff he learned in a classroom. It's proven, practical know-how from being in the trenches.
And that practical experience, it's backed by a really solid educational journey, from a bachelor's in computer science to a master's, and then capping it off with a specialized certification that really sharpened his focus on full-stack development. And we'll end with this quote from his own summary, because it really says it all, doesn't it? It's not just about building things, it's about building them the right way. A focus on clean, maintainable code means these solutions are built to last. And leveraging AI tools for efficiency, that tells you you're looking at a forward-thinking developer, someone who's always looking for a smarter way to solve the next big problem. And you have to wonder, what problem will he solve next?